So let us practice converting positive sentences into negative sentences using some more examples. Let us take this sentence. Elle déteste le sport. She, detest means to hate. She hates sports. So what are the three steps? Identify the verb. So the verb here is détester. So what would we do? We would place ne before the verb. Ne, and the next step is to place pas after the verb. Le sport. Elle ne déteste pas le sport. She doesn't hate the sport. So what did we do? We first identified the verb. We placed ne before the verb and pas after the verb. Now when we move on to the next sentence, j'ai une voiture. Do you remember this verb here? J'ai? Yes, it is. Do you remember? We learned this conjugation yesterday. It is the avoir verb. So in je conjugation, it is j'ai. So we have identified the verb. However, when we have an indefinite article, do you remember the indefinite articles? Un, une and they. Yes. So when we have an indefinite article, there is a slight change. So let me write the sentence once again. J'ai une voiture. I have a car. So this apostrophe would be taken. We would write je. Before the verb, what would we write? Ne. Now there is a vowel clash here. So what would we do? We would remove e and place an apostrophe. Je n'ai, and we would add pas. So when we have an indefinite article, un, une or they, we would replace it with the, de. So whenever you have an indefinite article, un, une or they, you would replace it with the. Voiture. Je n'ai pas de voiture. I do not have a car. J'ai une voiture means I have a car. So what did we do? We identified the verb. We placed ne before the verb and pas after the verb. And since there is an indefinite article, we replaced it with the. So shall we move on to the next sentence? Let us take this sentence. Tu as un portable. Tu as un portable. So first we read the sentence, then we identify the verb. In this case, it is the avoir verb. And for tu, it is conjugated as a. Tu as. So we have identified the verb. What is the next step? We have to put ne before the verb and pas after the verb. So tu, ne, and write the verb. Since there is a vowel clash, yes, we would put an apostrophe. Tu n'as pas. So here also we have an indefinite article. Do you remember what we would do when we have an indefinite article? Yes, we would replace it with the. The portable. So, tu n'as pas de portable. So, when you have an indefinite article, un, une or they, you would replace it with the in the negative sentence. So, repeat along with me. What are the steps? We would identify the verb. We would place ne before the verb and pas after the verb. So, are you clear with that? Now, when it comes to indefinite articles, let us take this sentence. C'est un écrivain. It means this is a writer. C'est un écrivain. So, normally what would we do? We would identify the verb. So, this is the verb. We have identified it. It is the être verb. So, ce. What would we do? We place ne before it. And there is a vowel clash again. So, ne. We would place pa after the verb. And here we have an indefinite article. So, normally we would replace it with the. However, when an indefinite article comes along with the être conjugation, it remains the same. So, I'll repeat it again. Normally, when there is an indefinite article, we would replace it with the, de, the. However, when it comes along with the être conjugation, it remains the same. So, un écrivain. Ce n'est pas un écrivain. This is not a writer. So, let us do one more sentence of this type. Consider that sentence. Ce sont des sportifs. So, what is the verb in this sentence? It is sont. It is the être verb. Sont. So, we have identified the verb. So, what is the next step? We have to place ne before the verb and pa after the verb. So, ce, ne, sont, pa, and here we have again an indefinite article. So, normally we would replace it with the. However, it is coming with an être conjugation. So, what would we do when there is an être verb along with an indefinite article? It remains the same. Des sportifs. Ce ne sont pas des sportifs. So, this is the positive sentence and this is a negative sentence. So, what did we do? Let us go over the rules once again. When we want to convert a positive sentence into a negative sentence, we would first identify the verb. We would place ne before the verb and pa after the verb. When there is an indefinite article without the être conjugation, we would replace it with the. So, what are the indefinite articles? Un, un and they. So, when un, un or they appears, we would replace it with the. However, when an indefinite article comes along with the être conjugation, it remains the same. There is no change. So, I hope you are thorough with the negation. How to make a positive sentence into a negative sentence.